What happened? Like, how did you end up getting charged with armed robbery?
It's not good to talk about your case when it's open too much, so.
Well, I mean, don't say anything that's gonna, get you in trouble,
Literally,
but just kind of give us an idea of like what happened and how you ended up in this position.
Okay, so basically, I was on a bus.
Oh Lord! So you started dancing in front of the police station? Are you kidding me? You're like, hey, come and get me.
I was dancing there for 3 hours.
3 hours?
Hours.
Okay, but you didn't explain that to the officers or whatever?
They put me on the news.
You was on the news?
They put me on
here
news.
In Atlanta?
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? I want to once again thank everybody who comes up to me in the streets and shows me real love. Y'all don't even know. It keeps me thankful. It keeps my tank full. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm good.
All right, all right. So are you homeless?
No, sir.
Okay, so what's your situation?
I really just got back in town. Okay, how about we rewind. Okay. I really just got out of jail in June, and I was in jail 5 months.
Okay.
For an armed robbery that I didn't commit.
Armed robbery?
Armed robbery.
Okay.
And yeah. After I got out, I went back home to where I stayed. Well, where I'm from, Portland.
Okay, Portland, Oregon?
Yeah, Portland, Oregon. And I had to come back for court and things, finish up whatever I got going on.
Right, whatever the legal process is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so who are you staying with while you're out here?
A friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend?
A friend of a friend, kind of, but I was cool with the people who got me situated.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19?
19.
Oh, okay. So you got out in June. You're from doing 5 months.
Yeah.
And that was for armed robbery. What happened? Like, how did you end up getting charged with armed robbery?
It's not good to talk about your case when it's open too much, so.
Well, I mean, don't say anything that's gonna, get you in trouble,
Literally,
but just kind of give us an idea of like what happened and how you ended up in this position.
Okay, so basically, I was on a bus, and I was on the bus with 2 dudes. One of the dudes, I kind of knew. The other one I didn't know. It was just a friend, and we were supposed to be going back to their spot, and then we got off the bus together, and the armed robbery ends up occurring, whatever. We end up splitting up, though, when we walk in the apartment. I'm walking in front of them, they're walking behind me. When I'm walking in the apartment, I hit a left. So at that point, I can't see them no more. And I guess in between me walking where I walked and coming right back, they had robbed somebody, and they was leaving out the apartment. And when I seen them leaving out the apartment, I had walked up to them, and we all left together.
Guilty by association.
Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't explain that to the officers or whatever?
They put me on the news.
You was on the news?
They put me on
here in Atlanta?
Yeah.
When? Back in February or January?
But I was on the news, and they put me on the news. They said they want to speak with me. They don't want to incarcerate me. And I didn't know I was on the news. And then I ended up figuring out I was on the news. Me personally, I don't want to go talk to the police, so I'm not going to walk up in there just to go talk to them. But I ended up figuring out I was on the news like 2-3 weeks after the fact. And then I was finna leave town to Augusta, because that's where my little brother stay and stuff. And I went to go say bye to somebody before I left, right? But in my head, I'm thinking,
a guy?
Like, yes. But
was it one of the 2 guys that had did the thing?
No.
Okay, so it's just another guy that you. Okay.
Okay. So, where was I at?
You went to go say goodbye to the guy.
I went to go say goodbye to this dude or whatever. But what happened? He was mad at me. He was mad at me for nothing, because I didn't do nothing, but like basically from hearsay. Some other girl want to tell him that I did
something with whatever. Okay.
And he want to believe her over me, I guess, and he got mad at me and was just ignoring the shit out of me. So I went to go tell him bye before I left, which I shouldn't have. And then he still didn't say shit to me. And I walked off, and then I was like kind of in my feelings, but I was like, let me just make myself feel better. And I love dancing, and I see this mirror, like, I mean, it's a window, but
you can see yourself in it, right?
And it's that police station.
Oh Lord! So you started dancing in front of the police station? Are you kidding me? You're like, hey, come and get me.
I was dancing there for 3 hours.
3 hours?
Hours. Hours. I was dancing there for hours in that mirror.
Okay.
And then it was 4 officers. They walked out the building. When they walk out the building, in my head, I'm like, ugh. But I just like kept dancing because I didn't do shit. Like,
are we talking about the police station down there by the courthouse?
By the Greyhound.
Right, by Garnett Station. Yeah.
And then I was just like, hitting my shit. I'm dancing, going this way, and I see them. I like look like this kind of, and I just kept turning around, and I kept dancing, and then they stopped me, and they was like, it was 4 of them. Like, they was really trying to confuse my ass. It was like, are you such and such? And then someone else is like steady saying my name in the background, like over and over again, like my nickname that I go by. And then another officer saying some other shit, and another officer saying some other shit. And then they just start putting me in the cuffs. I didn't really say nothing because I was kind of in shock. They put me in the cuffs, and then I walked to that investigation room right there, and go upstairs. I was crying my eyes out. I was crying as soon as they put the cuffs on me, because I was just like irritated. Clearly, I don't want to be in jail. I've been in jail before. And I didn't
been in jail before? For what?
Twice. I've been in jail twice before then.
For what?
One time, I didn't do the shit again.
Well, tell me for what first, and then we'll get the story.
But you said for what?
Yeah, like what was you in jail twice before for?
You really want to get into my crazy life, huh?
No, I mean a little bit.
Wild.
Well, let's hear it. I mean, we'll be the judge of that, right? We've heard it all.
Now, the time before that, I was arguing with my ex. We got into a fight. There was this dude, ended up picking me up. He said I could stay in his car. Then he went to this girl's hotel, who he considers his sister or some shit. And when we get to the hotel, like, he was like, we go over here so you can shower and stuff like that. And I was like, all right. And then we go to the hotel, and the girl leaves in his car within like 30 minutes. And how should I put this? Just say anything,
just put it
right?
plainly. Just put it plainly.
Okay, so we was doing shrooms and shit. So I was chilling real bad, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we in the hotel, and I'm doing my hair, braiding my hair because I do hair and stuff. And the police started knocking on the door, and he go to the door. He see who it is. It's the police. He like, the police are at the door. I don't know why the police are at the door. And he starts like freaking out. It's like this older dude, like he like maybe like 50 years old.
Oh shit.
Okay. And he like, I don't know why, like, the police here, and he's like getting really paranoid and shit. And then he starts saying like, I have a life sentence in Alabama, and I don't want to open the door for them, and technically, legally, we don't have to open the door and shit like that. And I'm thinking, I didn't do shit. I'm here to shower, everything, everything's smooth.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, if you don't feel comfortable opening the door, and supposedly that's the law, I don't with the police for us, so you feel me? And then I don't open the door, and we sitting there and we waiting for like 4 hours, and the police is knocking on the door, and then they got the door open and the latch right there, and they sitting there like this trying to get the latch off, and they saying shit, but I wasn't listening. Like, I don't know, something told me to open the door, but I don't know. And then he like wanted us to wait till his sister came there to open the door. So when his sister got there, he was like, okay, you can open the door. I opened the door, the police came in, they put us in handcuffs immediately, and they was like, why y'all took so long to open the door? And I was like, can I ask what I'm being arrested for? And they didn't say shit, and I just stood there waiting, and I was kind of like saying something to them about them being black officers and how they're coming in here and come for us like this. When in reality, me personally, I didn't know shit. I don't know if he knew shit, but from what I know, we didn't know nothing. Y'all coming here and just coming for us just because of the situation, and you know what I'm saying?
I get it, but what ended up happening?
It was black. Listen, it was black.
Right.
That's what threw me off. Because I'm telling you, this is an important part of the story.
Yeah, they be the worst ones sometimes.
Because back home, like, it's hella white people. So sometimes, like, when I see like a lot of homeless people around and shit like that are black or doing really bad, like, it's different than being back home and they all white. not to be weird.
I get
it. Yeah, or the same thing, like when the officers was black, I was just like kind of thinking in my head, like, damn, okay, whatever. And they was like, what do you mean? What's the difference? What does it like make it, like, what does it mean if we're black or not? And I was like, okay. And then they took us to the car. And when we're in the car, then they finally tell me what I'm being charged with. And I'm being charged with fraud, identity theft, possession of a crack pipe, trespassing.
Dang.
Yeah.
They just threw a whole bunch of charges on you.
And I was just like, what the fuck?
Did the charges stick?
The dude, he ended up going to Alabama, and he ended up taking all the charges. So, no, they didn't.
So how long did you go to jail that night?
Yeah, I went to jail that night.
How long was you in jail for?
Only 5 days.
5 days? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's walk down here real quick. We're going to walk and talk. Okay, so real quick. So
I'm waiting for somebody right here.
okay, we ain't got to go nowhere. It's all good. We ain't got to go nowhere. But, okay, so, all right, so real quick. You're 19. Let's just start from the beginning. Where you from?
Portland, Oregon, 503, baby.
Hey man, shout out that Portland, Oregon, man. Shout out that whole West Coast, man, all day. You from the whole other side of the country. Let's get it.
Yep.
All right, so and what are you doing? What'd you come out here for?
Okay, so when I was a freshman in high school, like 14, they were doing like a lot of stuff, getting us into like careers and shit like that. When I was 14, I decided I want to be an EMT and I want to move to Atlanta when I turn 18. So when I, like right before my birthday, I had drove out to Florida with my brother and my sister to like look at a college and shit. And then we ended up getting stuck on the side of the road, to be honest. We ended up getting stuck on the side of the road on the way back. And I had ran over a tire that was in the middle of the road.
Ooh.
And when I ran over the tire, like I pulled over or whatever, and the car wouldn't start back up, and I think all the tires were flat. We ended up leaving the car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mind you, everybody was asleep when this happened.
Oh Lord.
And I was rushing to get back. Well, I wasn't rushing. It came out of nowhere.
How'd you miss the tire in the road?
I can't see that well. It's black and it's in a black street. I'm driving, and when I'm like, what is that? And when I'm so close, I can see.
Yeah, and then it's like too late.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of people. I'm not gonna say a whole bunch. At least 10 people hit that same tire.
Okay, and messed up their car or whatever.
Yeah, and they had the patrol out there helping people and shit. But
So real quick. Okay, so that's how I ended up in Georgia. But okay, so all right, from Portland, Oregon. Growing up in Portland, did you have both mom and dad in the household? Who'd you grow up with?
I mean, when I was little, I know my dad was in the house, like, I don't know what age, but growing up, I was really with my mom.
Okay, was after that, after they split or whatever, was you good?
I'm waiting for somebody.
All right, well, let's turn around. Let's turn around. That way you can.
So I don't want to,
Because I want you to be here with me now. Okay, so, all right, so growing up in Portland, so at what age do you remember dad leaving or whatever, like them splitting? Do you remember what age you were?
No.
Okay, but you just know that at some point he left, and was he like active and present still after he left, or what, did it kind of dwindle off?
He left, not really. He came back when I was like in 7th grade.
It's like around 12 or so. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, all right. So growing up, do you have brothers and sisters?
I have 10.
10?
Yeah.
Wow, where are you in the birth order?
In the middle.
Okay, and it's 10 of y'all? Okay, by your mom is what you're saying, or same mom, same dad?
8 by my mom. 8 by my mama. 5 are my dad's kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one sister who's really my sister, but that's my sister.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, and so growing up, would you say that you had like a fairly normal childhood?
I don't know what do you mean by normal?
Right, that's why I ask it that way, right? It's so that whatever normal means to you, and you can kind of go from there. No? Well, tell me, what was it that you felt like maybe wasn't?
We were homeless a lot of the time when I was younger. Like, we slept in cars, shit like that. We stay in a motorhome.
Okay, so just a lot of financial distress and homelessness, instability, things like that. Okay. And by the way, do you have any kids? No? Okay. So did you like end up going to high school, stuff like that?
Yeah, I went to high school. I graduated when I was 17.
17, okay. And did you like doing the college after? Well, I guess this is pretty much what it would be, right? These years.
A middle college, high school, so I have college credits, but I never went into
like actual school,
college.
I get it.
Yeah, because I don't really want to go to college right now. I mean, at this point, a few years later, I've been in Atlanta 2 years now, so now I'm thinking about going back to school. But at first, I didn't want to.
You didn't want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. But okay, so all right. So long story short, are you still? So you still got those charges pending or whatever?
Yeah,
Did you know those guys? Did you know those guys?
No comment. when I told my story the first time, I explained.
Well, I guess you say you like just met them or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't really know them for real.
Okay, so I guess some people are gonna say, well, why are you rolling around with guys that you just met and stuff like that?
Because I remember that night I didn't have nowhere to go, and I was with him, and we was supposed to go. I can't recall, but
have you learned your lesson from just randomly dealing with people, or is that something that you still?
I already know my lesson about randomly dealing with people, but yeah, sometimes even though you know maybe you shouldn't do this,
you just gotta you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, basically.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, miss, we really appreciate you taking the time answering all of our questions. If anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
My social media for my hair is crowned, CRON.
Okay. We know how to spell crown. Go ahead.
Okay.
Crown.
Crown dot with perfection. No. Crown dot with dot perfection.
Okay.
That's my hair page. And my Cash App is DUMA47.
Okay. All right. Well, like I say, miss, we really appreciate you. Definitely wish you nothing but the best, all right?
Yes,
Make
sir.
sure you have a good one, sweetie.